Satan will use people to harm you so that in your heart you will wish for harm to come to them. You must never succumb to this temptation. Instead, you must love your enemies and pray for people. You know, this is how you are to deal with difficult people. Jesus gave an important sermon, and in this sermon, I want you to listen carefully to what Jesus says. Luke chapter 6, verse 27. But I tell you who are listening, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you and pray for those who mistreat you. If someone slaps you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. If someone takes your coat, do not withhold your shirt from them. Give to everyone who asks you. And if anyone takes what belongs to you, don't demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love those who love them. But if you do good to those who are good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do that. And if you lend to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners expecting to be repaid in full. But love your enemies. Do good to them and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High, because He is kind to the ungrateful and the wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. You know, this sermon can cause a lot of problems to you. You might get upset and say, I don't understand that. This is not the way we can live. Listen, what Jesus is doing, He's commanding you to act on your divine nature, not your human nature. See, your human nature is a sinful, devilish nature. And it will act in retaliation. But you cannot act that way. You must act in love and kindness. And this is the way God has called us to live. You see, you cannot control how people treat you, but you can control how you respond to them. And Jesus is trying to make you a master of your situation rather than a slave of how people have acted toward you. I don't know how your family has acted toward you, the people at work, people at church, your neighbors. But here's the thing, you're called to act in love because in reality, this is the way God acts. You're just simply acting the way God acts. Oh, no, because God punishes the evildoer. Oh, maybe not so quickly, does He? And Jesus said, when the sun rises, it rises on the good and the bad. And when the rain comes down and we need it, it rains on your house like your neighbor's house. You notice God doesn't put an umbrella on all the evil homes so they don't get rain. No, they get the rain too. And what Jesus is pointing out is the way the Father acts. He acts very merciful. He doesn't give people their just deserts and what they deserve right now. He's patient and kind. And Jesus is calling us to be that kind of kind person as well. And see, what He's trying to also get you to do is quit fighting the wrong battles. See, you're not called to battle your family, your parents, your church members, your pastor. You're not called to battle me or to battle your neighbor. You have more important fights to fight, the fight of faith. And it doesn't include fighting others. It says, because when you expend your energy, you don't have enough energy to fight the real battle. When I was a kid in Little League Baseball, my coach would tell us, don't go swimming on the day that we play games. Because he knew if we went swimming, we're going to be too exhausted to play a good game. And some of you, you're too exhausted to fight the good fight because you're spending your time fighting these battles with other people. And Jesus says, don't do this. Love them. Don't expend your energy fighting the wrong person. Your enemy is really Satan. Your enemy is the sins and the temptation it brings to you. And that's what Satan is trying to do. He's trying to get you to hate. And all hate is so hard to bear. But love is gentle. Love is so easy. When you're in love, you feel great. But when you're in hate, you feel awful. And some of you, you're letting what people do to you determine how you're going to be, whether you're happy or whether you're sad. But Jesus is telling you, don't live this way. Be like your Father in heaven, who's kind to everyone. And friend, this is how you deal with difficult people.